My next guest is on a mission to educate people about cystic fibrosis. He's written a children's book, which is about his childhood, called Timmy's Chronicles of a Hidden World, a CF Warrior's Heart. This author has CF. He knows what it feels like to be breathless. He fights back every single day. He's been a champion bodybuilder, earned the title of Mr. Connecticut, and has finished a New York marathon. My guest is warrior Tim Sweeney. Tim, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ann. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about when you were first diagnosed as a kid and some of the things that happened to you along the way.
I was diagnosed at about 2, and when I was diagnosed, the doctors back in the 70s, they told my parents, there's no fix, there's no medicine, take him home and make him comfortable. He has about 10 years to live. And my parents, thankfully, didn't accept that. And they really instilled a love of exercise and eating right and living that kind of a lifestyle. And so that's how I grew up. I grew up playing sports, participating in road races, and just being as active as I could, because that was medicine for me.
How was it to be breathless, though? Because it did happen to you.
Absolutely. It's one time I heard it described as like breathing through a straw. But when you have CF and you're really suffering, you don't know what that's like because, you know, you're just breathing. But after I had a double lung transplant, looking back, I could breathe through a straw now, and I say, yeah, that's exactly what it feels like.
You had a double lung transplant that saved your life. You've also had a kidney transplant. That happened in 2019.
Correct.
How are you doing now? You look the picture of health.
I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life. And that's entirely due to the fact that I've had the best doctors and just the best care possible.
What are you trying to say in this book for children about CF?
What I'm trying to say is that what it takes to be a CF warrior is really about heart. And to be a CF warrior, you need things like confidence, you need self-esteem, you need the strength and the courage to battle every day, something that you didn't choose. And it's a very isolating disease because kids can't be around other kids with CF. We have to be 6 feet apart, which is something we learned during COVID. And so I wanted to create something where the heart of a CF warrior was amplified and shown what that really means. And so in this story, little Timmy has the ability to draw a heart on any door, and it transports them magically into places where other kids have CF. And there he helps them cope and manage and understand what CF is about.
So you say your parents got you through a lot of things. You have children now. How are you as a parent in teaching them about CF?
It's interesting because one of the questions you ask as I get older, which was not expected of anyone with CF, so you don't really plan for it, but as life unfolds and your lifespan expands miraculously, you start to sort of pick up on cues from your kids. They hear things and they see things, and they start asking questions, which is great because at the appropriate age, you can sort of unravel the layers of the onion to them and let them in on what it is, what's happened. My oldest son, who's 17, now he knows my whole story. He knows that I had a double lung transplant and that a few years ago, his uncle, my brother, gave me his kidney. And so it's really nice because in that case, he not only sees the battle I've had to fight, but he understands now the incredibly generous gift that my brother gave. So it's really nice.
I appreciate you writing this book because I think a lot of people don't understand CF, and you say it is hidden. What do you mean by that?
It's called the invisible disease, hidden disease, because you don't really see it. When I was growing up, I was very active. I did a lot of sports and things, and so people never suspected that I had a disease that typically would have killed kids 10, 15 years old. And so there's not a lot of conversation around it. There's not a lot out there in terms of kids seeing other kids surviving and thriving with it. So I really, when I realized how blessed I was, really, truly blessed, I knew that I had to take on that responsibility to show kids that you can not only get through this, but you can get through it and enjoy your life, have a family, and feel great.
Tim, you're an inspiration. Thank you so much for being here. I
Thank
really
you so
appreciate what you've done.
Thank you.
And for more on Tim Sweeney and his book, Timmy's Chronicles of a Hidden World, a CF Warrior's Heart, go to WTNH.com or the News 8 app.